What's up, real fans? Do you really think you're ready for what's coming down the market pipeline? Do you think the loyalty and knowledge of a baseball fan are enough to absorb this whirlwind of news that has shaken the league in just 24 hours? Because let me tell you, today's news is an absolute black hole, and our team, the Braves, is right in the eye of the storm. Before we dive into the chaos and the urgency of these moves that will define the NL East, hit that subscribe button real quick. Seriously, ring the bell right now because the news pace this offseason is insane, and you cannot miss the next Braves update analyzing the strength of our offense, our chop-on mentality, and the inevitable answers the front office must provide to guarantee yet another division title. Winning is our only option, but the road to October is getting tense. Because look, while we're planning the next sweep at SunTrust Park and preparing for division dominance, the news that hit is a punch to the gut that directly affects our roster depth. No one is safe in the MLB market. No one. What happened to that left arm that was ready to give us stability in the bullpen? That lefty who registered an ERA below 2 last season? He is gone. Yes, that's right. Thursday was a day of roster turmoil. We lost a solid bullpen option. Jose Suarez, the 28-year-old pitcher who made 7 appearances for the Braves, secured 2 wins, boasted an impressive 1.86 ERA, and even registered a save, is out. The market moved fast. He avoided arbitration and had a $900,000 deal with us, but the Baltimore Orioles moved quickly, and he transferred to the American League. It's unbelievable. Losing an arm that gave us that security with such solid numbers is a blow that demands an immediate response. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, folks. While we're losing key pieces, the entire league is on fire. MLB exploded with a stratospheric deal that redefined the market. Kyle Tucker, the superstar coveted by everyone, closed the most impactful deal of the week. 4 years, $240 million with opt-out clauses after the second and third seasons. And for whom? The Los Angeles Dodgers, who ignored the 4-year, $220 million offer from the New York Mets and strengthened their team in an absurd way. This is a warning shot to the entire National League. And caught in this crossfire, we have complex trades, a 3-team transaction involving the Tampa Bay Rays, Los Angeles Angels, and Cincinnati Reds, moving names like Josh Lowe and Gavin Lux, as well as significant signings, such as pitcher Taylor Clark going to the Diamondbacks and the multi-utility Willie Castro to the Rockies, alongside Pierce Johnson to the Reds. Money is flying, and the chessboard is being set for the next season. But it's not all disaster on the chop-on side. Atlanta, even losing a solid left arm, is looking toward the future with its international signing class. Stay tuned, because shortstop Jose Mañon is the top name among this new wave of kids ready to make history. The front office is pulling strings, but the question remains, are these moves and the strength of our offense enough to secure another ring? The pressure is on Atlanta. Stick with me until the end to understand the Braves' broadcast situation and get ready for the next season. Let's go. The news is clear, and for us Atlanta Braves fans, every move is scrutinized with the magnifying glass of those who are used to seeing the team win, dominate the National League East Division, and march to the postseason every year. This is the chop-on mentality, and it is with this urgency that we approach the latest movements. Let's start with the part that affects the bullpen. The loss of a left arm that could have been crucial in the final stretch. Jose Suarez is heading to the Baltimore Orioles. It is unacceptable to lose valuable pieces, even if we have the strongest roster in the league. Suarez, a 28-year-old lefty, made 7 appearances last season and delivered an elite performance with a 1.86 ERA, 2 wins, and 1 save. A 1.86 ERA in a bullpen is the type of performance that screams confidence in the 7th or 8th inning. The team had managed to avoid arbitration with him, agreeing to a $900,000 contract, a bargain basement value for what he demonstrated. However, he was waived. And now, following the trend of pitchers seeking new opportunities, he signs with Baltimore. The immediate impact is the loss of depth on the left side of the bullpen. In the playoffs, where every matchup is crucial, having a reliable lefty to neutralize specific hitters makes all the difference. It's not the end of the world, of course, because the Braves are a machine for developing talent and making smart trades, but it is a point of attention for management. The pitcher market is hot, and we cannot afford to let proven talent with such solid numbers escape to an American League rival. The philosophy must always be to add, never subtract, especially when we talk about relief pitchers with proven performance and low cost. But the Braves machine does not stop, and while we deal with one exit, we look toward the future with the strength that builds dynasties. The main long-term news is the signing of shortstop Jose Magnon, the top name in the club's international signing class. This is the kind of move that ensures the Braves will continue to be the team to beat in the NL East, not just today, but 5 or 10 years from now. Jose Magnon, a promising shortstop from the Dominican Republic, signed for a significant value of $1.5 million. Which places him among the main targets of the international signing period. The shortstop position is historically one of the most important in baseball, requiring elite defense, a strong arm, and offensive potential. The investment in Magnon demonstrates the organization's focus on replenishing high-level talent and ensuring the health of the farm system. For a team that already holds the record of 14 consecutive division titles in the modern era, and that just secured its 6th consecutive division title, the key is sustainability. And that sustainability comes from young players like Magnon. He is the one who can, in the future, provide the defensive links we need. Expectations are high, and the development process begins now, an incessant cycle of renewal that keeps the Braves on top. Furthermore, the mention of the Braves' broadcast situation is a reminder that there are important off-field issues that directly affect the fan. Although specific details were not given in the news, the fact that it is a headline topic indicates that the organization is attentive to how the fan follows the team. It is essential that in a moment of such dominance, the fan's passion is fueled with easy access and quality broadcasting. Success on the field must be accompanied by success in delivering the product to the fan. Now we need to quickly look at the overall MLB landscape because the competition never sleeps. The Kyle Tucker bomb with the Dodgers for 4 years and $240 million shows the madness of the market. The New York Mets, our direct rival, offered $20 million less. The Dodgers' aggressiveness and the market price for an offensive superstar like Tucker only reinforce how valuable the talent base the Braves possess in-house is, with friendly long-term contracts for our spine, such as first base, third base, and outfield. We built a powerhouse without having to go bankrupt in free agency every year. The negotiation between Tampa Bay, the Angels, and the Reds, involving Josh Lowe and Gavin Lux, shows the continuous movement of pieces trying to fit together to challenge our dominance. Lowe is an interesting name coming from the Rays, known for developing talent. The trade indicates that these teams are restructuring with urgency. And finally, pitchers Taylor Clark with the D-backs and Pierce Johnson with the Reds, along with Willie Castro with the Rockies, are bullpen and utility pieces that show that even the chasing teams are strengthening. The NL East division will not be easy, and every team is moving to try to take down the Braves dynasty. No one can falter. The focus must be totally on our superiority, the strength of our elite lineup, and the pitching that will be necessary to silence those who doubt our pursuit of yet another World Series title. The loss of Suarez is a detail, the arrival of Magnon is the future, and the general market is just noise that cannot distract us from our ultimate goal: total victory. Let's go, Braves! The second major topic is about the blow and the immediate response, the balance between an unexpected loss in the bullpen and the brilliant future the organization continues to build. The news that Jose Suarez is leaving and landed with the Baltimore Orioles after having avoided arbitration and accepted a $900,000 deal with the Atlanta Braves is the kind of news that makes us frown. He's not a front-page name, but losing a solid option, a bullpen lefty who had been demonstrating recovery capacity and delivery, is always a setback. 7 appearances, 2 triumphs, a low ERA of 1.86, and 1 save. These are not numbers of a dispensable arm. On the contrary, in a small sample size, of course, he showed what he could deliver, being a vital support piece in the middle of the bullpen. The move reflects the cruel trend of the offseason for pitchers as well, reported, where every cent and every roster spot is fiercely contested. The Braves opted to move the roster, and the Orioles did not hesitate to grab this 28-year-old lefty, adding valuable depth for a bargain price. The loss of Suarez requires that the depth of our bullpen be tested sooner than planned. We know the Braves have the ability to develop and find talent, but replacing a pitcher who delivers a sub-2 ERA in his initial appearances is never trivial. It is a reminder that even being the dominant force in the National League East Division, the job of roster management never stops. The pursuit of the World Series demands ruthless excellence in all aspects. The chop-on demands victory always, and for that, every arm counts, especially in the final stretch. But if there is a loss in the bullpen, there is also a massive investment in the future, and that is where the Braves show why they are a sustainable winning machine. The international signing class is always a barometer of the franchise's health, and the top name of this crop is shortstop Jose Magnon. A shortstop is the defensive brain on the diamond, a high-value position, and investing in Magnon as the top name in the class signals the club's priority in maintaining an elite defensive base, ready to feed the next generation of stars. The Braves' farm system is legendary for its consistency, and names like Magnon are the guarantee that the title window in Atlanta won't close anytime soon. This is how an empire is built, winning in the present and investing heavily in the future. In parallel, the movements in the general MLB market continue to shake the scenario and define the price of elite players. The news that Kyle Tucker closed a colossal deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers for 4 years and $240 million with opt-outs after the second and third seasons is a punch to the gut for any wallet and shows the dimension of what an elite slugger costs in the current market. We are talking about an average annual value of $60 million, an amount that redefines salary caps. The New York Mets, with their eternal search for stars, still tried with an offer of $220 million, but the Dodgers came out on top, securing yet another all-star for an already terrifying lineup. This is the price the elite pays. The Braves, with their philosophy of extending contracts for their young core, Acuna, Harris, Riley, Olsen, managed to bypass these stratospheric free agency figures, but the context of Tucker serves as a benchmark for what would be necessary to acquire comparable talent from outside. The market also saw the complexity of trades manifest itself with the 3-team deal involving the Tampa Bay Rays, Los Angeles Angels, and Cincinnati Reds. Josh Lowe and Gavin Lux, among others, changed jerseys, proving that negotiations are in full swing and that positional value and the search for roster flexibility move mountains. The Reds, in fact, have been quite active, not only in the trade, but also finalizing the 1-year, $6.5 million contract with Pierce Johnson, a good bullpen arm that adds depth in the National League Central. Furthermore, we see the Arizona Diamondbacks reinforcing their mound with pitcher Taylor Clark on a 1-year contract for a guaranteed value of $1,550,000. Moves like this, as well as the Colorado Rockies' agreement with multi-utility player Willie Castro for 2 years and $12,800,000 show that clubs are finalizing roster touch-ups, seeking versatility and reliable bullpen arms. Finally, the Braves' broadcast situation, which the news only mentions is in development, is extremely important for the fans. Access and quality of the broadcast are vital for the fans' connection with the team that dominates the division. The organization has an obligation to ensure that access to the final product, the victories, is easy and accessible to everyone who vibrates with the Chop On in Atlanta and around the world. The management is underway, and the result must be favorable to the fan who lives and breathes the Braves. That's why, even facing any adversity, the expectation in Atlanta is always the top of the NL East and, of course, the World Series. That's 6 consecutive division titles, my friends, a dominance that shows the strength of our roster and our always explosive offense. The Chop On isn't just a chant. It's a warning that the offense is going to crush the opposing pitcher. With today's news on the table, the strategy is now clear. Maintain the rhythm and send the ball into the stands. Thank you, loyal fan. Don't let this news cool down. Subscribe to the channel now, hit the bell so you don't miss a single home run, and drop your opinion down below. Let's discuss the future of the Braves and yell together, Chop On!